what my father is doing now. I hope the live today will work because we are having some problems with the Wi-Fi. So I'm connecting with the telephone hotspot. So please let me know if you can hear and see. And my father now, he's removing the tape from the cello back. And we finished to graduate everything. Look, it's perfect and beautiful. So what we're going to do now, we're going to make the pin that we need to have here to glue the back on the ribs.
Per far vedere come si lavora la macchina.
Esatto, we work all by hands. Look at that. We have like, how do you say, wood chips for like 3 bags. And dust everywhere around the house. It's horrible. So we wanted to glue this yesterday evening, but yesterday we had a full day. We had the concert, and so my father was very happy because he came and he saw Dante, that he's 10 years old. He was singing in the choir and playing. He was playing also the Orff instruments like xylophone and tom. And then we went to see my other son Cosimo. He's 12, the concert at the middle school, so he's playing saxophone. And how was, Babbo, the whole la sala del concerto?
So big, beautiful place, the school, incredible.
Yes, so really my father enjoyed the school. Oh, Jess is here, Xu is here, from Taipei. Babbo, that's good, I've been in Taipei. And Jaan is here, Kevin from California, and from Sweden. We are international, that's amazing. So I've been in Taiwan in 2019, just before pandemic, and I've been in Taipei, Taichung, and also Tainan. So with my brother Dario, we took the train and we went from one town to the other. We have so many clients in Taiwan that play our instruments. And then we also visited the Chimei Foundation, that it's amazing. So I hope next time I come to Taiwan, I will let you know. And so, Babbo, fai vedere il concerto. Like a teenager, let's see the telephone. So this was the concert of Dante with the choir. And so for the Tutti Frutti, he's gonna play that song at the end of the month, that there's going to be a talent show, so he will play the drum kit there. But now, Babbo, let's prepare for gluing this one. And so what do we need to do? My husband Ted is helping us, so he's making the pins that will go here. Ted, did you make it?
No, I'm still making it.
Okay.
I'm trying to be quiet.
So this is a teamwork. We are like a teamwork. And Cosimo and Dante will be in Italy for all the summertime. And Cosimo, he said that he will work all the summer with my father, and he will save money to buy an electric scooter. I think it's good to have like a goal. And so he will help to and learn like how to make violins. Maybe they will be the 4th generation. Who knows? So Babbo, facciamo vedere qua. So let's show here. Ted li sta preparando. Facciamo vedere qui come si fa. So do you remember the first live we did together the holes? So this is super easy for us because, I mean, this is the way because we par fling the instrument after the body's closed. So what we're going to do is just put the pin there and then we add the glue. Babbo, why don't we add the glue? Perché non mettiamo la colla agli zucchetti adesso?
Sì, è calda?
Is the glue hot? Yes. Okay, so what we're gonna do now together, we are going to put some diluted glue on the blocks so that they will soak. Fate, Babbo? Okay, my father is doing it. and I'm going to film. So the glue that we use is the high glue, and it is the one that is soluble with water. So what we do now, we use the glue that is very liquid. More than once, vero Babbo?
Sì. Stufa nella colla e nell'acqua.
So he dips the brush into the water and into the glue to make it like more liquid.
Così la colla entra dentro.
Yeah, so the glue enters inside the blocks. Then we will wait for this to dry, and we will add then more glue to when we are ready to glue. Perfect. I want to show you the type of glue that I'm using here. So I leave you with my father here. I'm gonna take the glue so you can see what type of glue we're using.
The bag is in the middle. That's the stuff.
Yes. If you will like, we can make also one of these next day. We can also talk a lot about glue, and I can have my husband talking about glue, because you need to know that he also gave a speech with all Violinmakers about glue, and he made a whole research, so he knows everything about glue. So remember, next week, the Wednesday live, we will talk about strings, cello, strings, and bridges. And so Ted will be the one, my guest, my special guest, and we can talk another day about the glue. So this one is the stuff that we like to use, and if it's more than 300 grams strength, it's good.
Yeah, anything over 250.
Anything over 250. And here, yes. So today the live will not be too long because I have an appointment later. So, but I'm going to film whatever we are going to do these next days, and I will post it on the Instagram so you can keep update until next live, that will be Tuesday. So what we are going to do tomorrow, that it's Saturday, we are going to, talking about cellos, we are going to go to Bloomington at the Indiana University, and we have been invited by Emilio Colon and his wife Cara, and we are gonna meet them. And so Emilio, and the wife, they were in Italy last month, and they had my father organized for them a few concerts around Florence and Firenzuola, and they were playing the two cellos arrangement, and it was really, really beautiful. So it's always fun and nice to see and visit musicians. So this is what we like to do. So we work in our workshop alone because that's what we do, but then we have a social part that it's like going to concert and meeting friends, meeting clients, meeting musicians. Faccio vedere i perni, sì. Okay, let's show the little pins. So my father is already gluing them. And here. So this will fit perfectly inside the hole. So a tip that I want to tell you, never make the pin too big and try to force it with the hammer, because you can break the back, okay? Because so the pin needs to be precisely entering the hole, because wood can move, so you can also force it with the hammer, but then you're gonna crack here. So always be very careful with that. So now my father, but ora non si incolla, babbo. No, now just to show you. So it enters
Poi stagna.
precisely, but it's not like we don't have to force. So ecco, so it just goes very
Il
nicely.
filetto deve passare sopra.
Yeah, so we are placing the pin in this special spot here because we want to have the purfling to cross. E dopo si taglia.
Sì.
And then we are going to cut this one later. So I think, Babbo, for today it's everything because I have to go. So, and we will prepare. Ecco, we will prepare some more stories for Tuesday. So my father is also reading a book that tells about Gofriller and the story of the Violinmakers that were coming from Füssen.
Yes.
Vero, Babbo?
Just, yeah.
So it's very interesting story.
Cioè, lui veniva dal Sud Tirolo,
Sì,
da Brunico.
Brunico, che ora è Italia.
Sì.
So, yeah, because at that time, we always say the Italian Violinmakers of the 17th century, but there was no Italy there. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit like, there were a lot of states, and they were changing, like, come si dice, cambiavano occupazione, no? Cioè, tipo,
Yeah.
sometimes they were Spanish, sometimes they were French, sometimes they were from Austria, so it was changing all the time. It was
Goethe nel suo viaggio,
Mhm.
quando arriva a Rovereto, sud di Trento, dice qui è il primo posto dove si parla italiano.
Yeah, so I'm translating Goethe when he traveled to Italy, ma questo è 1800,
1780.
at the end of the 18th century. So he was traveling to Italy and he's saying Rovereto, that is just south of Trento. It's like 1 hour and a half north of Cremona.
Yeah.
He was saying that that was the first place where they were talking in Italian, so with the Italian language. But I think at the time of like Stradivari and Guarneri, they were talking dialects
Yes.
everywhere. So the Italian language came later, like in the 19th century, con Manzoni.
Parlavano latino qui per capirsi.
So to how they say, to communicate with each other, they were talking in Latin because that was the official, was still the official language.
Era latiniense di ora.
Yeah, the English that we're talking now, they were talking Latin. So it's very fascinating, and I love to study the history of like geopolitical history of that time to understand also how they were like traveling, dealing, and like buying like wood, buying like the rosins to make varnish, where it was coming from. So now it's pretty easy because we find everything online, but at that time all the Italy was divided in many states. So sometimes there were war against two cities, and then maybe 20 years later there were allies. So it's really interesting to see how they were moving around and bringing also influences from. So there were these other countries like controlling them, and they were bringing their like new influences. Like when they opened the Accademia, everybody was playing with French, like were really like very musical, and then the German arrived and they had to like close everything to pay for taxes, to pay the war. So, and then there were like soldiers arriving, and soldiers, they were playing violin, so they were selling instruments to like commandanti of the soldiers. So it's really like who were their clients at that time, depending like of who was there. So yeah, I hope you find this interesting, and if you have any question or curiosity, you want to know about like how was Italy at that time, so, and where they were finding wood and how they were like dealing, we can talk about that. I will really love to. Let's see if somebody has some question, last minute question. And oh, Sue Frank, it's welcoming us in Taiwan. So thank you very much. We will be happy to come. And yes, Jaan, I think the connection is not the best today. Hopefully Tuesday we will solve the problem. And so Matthias is asking, how do we keep the glue at 60 degrees? So we have the special glue pot that keeps the glue warm. So when I was little, I remember my father was using, you know, the bottle for the babies where you put the milk. So he was using one of those to keep the temperature warm. And yeah, and once I remember we had a very bad glue pot that was boiling the glue. Do you remember? C'era uno là, faceva bruciata.
Sì, poi una signora me l'ha venuta usata, ho detto mi dispiace, non è molto bello, guardi per quello che lo uso io.
Yeah, so he was buying like used one from second hands, and this lady was selling this like warming baby bottle for like second hands, and she was like, it looks like new, I mean, it has some scratches, and my father was like, don't worry, for the use that I will make, this is perfect. It's not a problem. So what happens if the temperature is too high or too low? So if it's too low, se è troppo bassa, the glue it's like jelly, so it doesn't glue. It's like
Quando si incolla dovrebbe essere minimo 24 gradi.
24 gradi. Yeah, it depends if you're talking Fahrenheit or Celsius. So Celsius is so let's say the room temperature should be 24 degrees. So that's why also we use the this one to make it warm. So this helps, because if it's not warm enough, then the glue it's not running. It's like it's stiff and it's jelly and it will not glue. If it's too hot, the glue it's just like
it breaks down.
Yeah, it breaks down. That means like it doesn't glue, and also the feeling you have, it makes like, come si dice una crosta sopra quando è troppo
I
calda?
falegnami dicono la colla che incolla è quella che esce.
Ora lo dico questo. Però when it's too hot, it makes like a film on top, looks like a skin, so that means it's like overcooked. And my father says, and I always remember this, when I work, I always remember this. So a friend of ours that is a woodworker, he said the glue that glues things together is the one that comes out. So when you add the glue and then you clamp and then you see the glue coming out, that means that the two pieces are gluing together.
Yes, exactly.
So this is I always take care of that. So when of course I never put too much glue, but I always check that some of the extra glue is coming out. That means that two pieces are really gluing together. È veramente un consiglio molto giusto questo. So that means it's warm enough that it's not solid like gel. And yeah, so that's a good tip. I would suggest you to use this tip also. I think of that all the time. Ci penso sempre quando incollo. Al pompiere diceva, colla che incolla è quella che esce. Perfetto. Grazie a tutti. Thank you everybody. And we'll see Tuesday going on with the top of the cello. And we need to finish it, Babbo.
Digli, ferri dei trucioli, ho lavorato tutta la notte fino a ieri sera.
Yeah, we work up to late last night. And already like sweep? How do you say when you clean?
No, yeah, sweeping.
Sweep, already sweep, like we have a whole bag there. So. Babbo, salutiamo tutti.
Ciao del vetro.
Final touch with the glass scraper. Okay, I will give you the link for the glass scraper. So if you don't have the free course that I made, you will have it. So check the group and you will see the link.
In America il vetro è migliore che quello italiano.
Okay, so the glass in the United States it's better than the Italian.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfetto. You can bring some home.
I think.
Ciao a tutti. Bye bye.
Così la frontiera